3-year-old Deontay was hit by a car back in 1989.
I can't fathom how anyone that have a conscience could do that.
What we're looking for is that magic phone call for somebody to call in and say, hey, this is what I saw, this is whom I saw, and this is the information that I need to give you.
Every year, crimes go unsolved here in Southern California. Loved ones are left waiting. I'm Joy Benedict, and as a news reporter, I've covered countless crimes, countless homicides, and I know that sometimes the victims of these crimes are forgotten almost as quickly as the headlines fade. So tonight on Crime Stoppers Case Files, we take another look at the crimes still lingering unsolved in our community. Let's get right to work. We want to bring up an older case, one where 23 years has not eased a family's pain. That's because a 3-year-old boy crossing the street was killed by a hit-and-run driver. His family still wants justice.
Deontay was the joy of my life. I was a young mom upon having him, but once he came into my life, it did change my life for the better. I enjoyed seeing his smile. I enjoyed hearing him calling out my name, just making the sounds that you see kids do. And he was just the life of any atmosphere that he came into. He actually enjoyed going to school. He did begin preschool, actually, and he did enjoy that because he enjoyed playing with children. And on the way to school, one thing that he always wanted to do was stop and get his snack. So on the way, it's always, Mom, I want a snack. So he'd stop off to the store and get his snack, go about his school day, and upon picking him up from school, he actually wasn't ready to leave. He wants to stay there and play with his other classmates. I would say one of the proudest moments would be when he was about 9.5, 10 months old when he took his first step. And again, he was trying to step to get to a snack, actually. But he did it, and that was one of the highlights, I feel, for me, as he started to begin walking. I just wish I could have those moments back to wake up and see that smile again. I can't have that, so I just hold on to his memories that I have. And it was a short time that I had him with me.
March 18th, 1989, approximately 8:55 p.m., a victim, 3-year-old male by the name of Deontay Barnes, was killed by a hit-and-run driver in South Central Los Angeles in the area of Van Ness and Gage Avenue. We reviewed the report since it happened 23 years ago. We reviewed the report, learned that the mother, at the time of the collision, she was across the roadway conducting some kind of business with a tow truck driver.
Deontay was left inside the residence with his godmother and another infant. I was outside at street level with AAA driver having a tire repaired.
Deontay somehow exited the residence. It looks like he was in search of his mother. He located his mother and ran across the street, and that's when the collision occurred.
I heard him calling out to me as he was running towards the street, and I was on the other side of the street. And as I yelled out to him, stop, don't come out to the street, is when the impact happened. It was really quick. The driver of the vehicle got out of the car, came to where he lied, looked at him for a quick second, jumped back into her vehicle, and sped off. Of course, I was hysterical. I ran down screaming for someone to call 911. As I tried to come back to where he was, people were stopping me and didn't allow me to get to him.
Following the collision, the child was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics approximately 15 to 20 minutes after the accident.
I can't fathom how anyone that have a conscience could do that.
March 18th in 1989, there was a hit-and-run felony manslaughter occurrence occurred in South Los Angeles in the area of Van Ness and Gage Avenue.
And investigators are asking for your help tonight to bring justice in the death of a 3-year-old that took place more than 20 years ago. Many handed out flyers today at the intersection of Van Ness and Gage, where 3-year-old Deonce Gibson was hit by a car and killed back in March of 1989. Police say the female driver did stop, but then got in her car and then drove away. She would be in her mid-50s now. Today, LA Councilman Bernard Parks announced a new reward for information leading to the conviction of the child's killer. $50,000.
I'm sure it's a horrible circumstance to live with, and it's something that we'd ask them to consider taking accountability for their actions to bring this to justice.
Our investigation revealed that the little boy, Deonce Barnes, had observed his mother across the street as her mother was having a conversation with a tow truck driver. Deonce was in the care of another adult inside her residence. Deonce somehow exited the residence in search of his mother and ran across the street, and that's when the collision occurred. Our hit-and-run vehicle was traveling northbound on Van Ness, approaching Gage Avenue. Following the collision, our hit-and-run suspect looked like they immediately stopped and exited their car and walked back to check on the condition of the child. However, according to witnesses, that's when all the neighbors started exiting their homes due to the sound of the collision, and it appeared that the woman became panicked and immediately fled within seconds of the accident. The mother witnessed the collision, as well as a tow truck driver who the mother was speaking with, as well as another witness. Our suspect was described by a couple witnesses at the scene as being a female black, approximately 32 to 34 years old, 120 to 130 pounds. She fled the scene in a tan or white brown colored Cadillac, 2-door. As far as the year of the vehicle, one witness describes them as 70 to 75, another witness 80 to 85, a possible Eldorado. At that time, there was no plates, no concrete evidence as far as a license plate, or no physical evidence at the scene.
It was an accident. I surely don't feel that it was on purpose. It was an accident. And I would just pray that she find in her heart, if she's viewing this, she's hearing about this, someone tells her about this, that she finds it into her heart to turn herself in. It's the right thing to do. I would beg that she would try to contact me, because my faith tells me that I have to forgive. But justice still needs to be done. I can't understand how so many years can go past, and if this person is still breathing, that they can go day to day with them. I don't understand it.
We have done a recanvassing of the area of Van Ness and Gage in the hopes of locating possibly some residents who are still in the area, or someone who possibly knows something about the accidents. Many of the residents have only been there within 1 to 10 years, and so far we haven't had very much luck locating any possible witnesses with any possible evidence. At this time, we're appealing to the public for any information. We know there's someone out there who knows something, someone who's still in the neighborhood. Perhaps you have spoken with the suspect, maybe that night, days later, months later, years later, or even we're appealing to the driver, the hit-and-run driver. We're just asking you to come forward, and so we can bring justice to the family. You can contact myself, Officer Mendoza. I'm an investigator with South Traffic Division, or my partner, Detective Smith. You can contact us at 323-421-2538 or 323-421-2500, or you can also contact Crime Stoppers. We'd appreciate any information on this case.
It is an unimaginable loss to lose a child, but to lose him to someone so callous that they could simply drive away is even more painful. So here is who police are looking for. We're told the suspect is a black female around 5'6". At the time, she was in her early 30s with a slim build. But remember, this was March 18th, 1989. So today, this woman, this suspect, would be in her mid-50s. In 1989, she was driving a light-colored, maybe tan or white, 2-door Cadillac. It was a late 70s or early 80s model. The vehicle struck and killed a 3-year-old boy, so it likely had some sort of front-end damage. If you know anything about this case, if you've heard anything since, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-222-TIPS, or log on to our website, lacrimestoppers.org, where you can learn how to text or even email your tip anonymously. more crimes and more families needing answers. These are your neighbors. This is your community, and you can make a difference. Remember,